What's up, fellow collectors, and happy Godzilla Day today. Now, this review may not come up in time before the end of Godzilla Day, but I am recording it on Godzilla Day. So, this is a different review. This is the MEZCO 5 Points XL series, and they usually had this for other type of IPs, but they recently picked up the Godzilla IP and they started doing these are more like, just 5 points of articulation, not really articulated, more of like semi-model pieces and smaller. So this is a line because they went the old school, original era of the Godzilla. I wanted to get this because it has the kaiju's from what I grew up watching. So I definitely want to pick this up because SH Monsters doesn't make these type of kaiju's just yet. So this was something different, a little cheaper route. And as you can see, as it comes around, I was at my recent GameStop and they had this in stock. You can see right there was clearance for $79.99. But they had a special going on that you would basically get, was it half off anything clearance? So I basically got this for $40, and that was a steal because normally it's still $80 at BigBadToyStore.com and other sites. So like I said, I'm happy to grab this one for $40 to kind of dip my feet into it to see if I'm gonna get the other ones because they did release I think 2 more packages. It was the Mothra one and then the first one. This is the second one. This is I guess it was round 2 or something like that. But anyways. Definitely excited to open this up, give it a good try, and this is the perfect thing to review and to get open on Godzilla Day. So let's get this review started. Dale.
Tequila.
Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the box before we get these nice little figures out the box. So in the front, you have that old school art style of the older kaijus. And down here, you have the Godzilla logo, MEZCO Toys, ages 18 and up, not for children. Godzilla Destroy All Monsters, Godzilla Destroy All Monsters, round 2. I know I was out the camera. And then here in the back, it shows all the figures that come in here. And you have Gorosaurus, you have King Ghidorah, and the original son of Godzilla, Manila. And then you have Baragon. I don't think of these right here, SH Figure Arts or SH Monsters did not make him yet. Him or him. I'm not sure why they didn't make him yet. He's one of like the popular characters in the show, so I'm not sure. But anyways, you got a picture there. Then you got the Godzilla Destroy All Monsters again, and then the same thing here on the side. Alright, so let's go ahead and get these guys out the box. Okay, so when you get the figures out the box, let's get the box out the way. You're greeted with this clamshell. Now it's a dual layer, 2-layer clamshell. You take the top part off and be careful because I learned the hard way. So when you take this top layer right here, you have 3 of the figures and all their accessories right there. And then on the bottom layer, you have Manila right here by himself, a little cutie. And then the bottom layer, you have more accessories. Ghidorah's wings, his thunder effects, and all the bases. All right, so let's go ahead and get this whole set out. So we can take a close look at every character and accessory that comes in this package. And there we have all the figures and accessories in the package laid out so we can take a close look at everything. But of course, let's always look at the figures first. So let's go ahead and grab King Ghidorah. And I do like the fact that they have the older version with like the hair around the head. Right here, as you can see the hair. Now one thing with these figures, when you open them, I did have a lot of paint. Not paint chipping off, but like paint flakes coming out from the packaging. So that's something to keep an eye out. I don't see any paint coming off the actual figure. So that's a good thing right there. But let's just take a look at King Ghidorah. That ugly snout, man. That's why King Ghidorah was like never one of my real favorite ones. I always liked the 3-headed dragon stuff and then the wings. But I was never a fan of like the way his head looked. Look at this thing. That's ugly. That's an ugly thing. But anyways, it looks like the original. It has the good paint that the original King Ghidorah that came off of the SH Monster should have had. Thankfully, they gave us a reissue or a repaint version. All right, so there you go. So you have the pieces there where the tails go in, the wings. So let's look at the articulation here. So the next, remember, this is 5-point articulation, so it's barely any articulation on this. But you get swivel at the neck, all 3 necks. You are limited on the swivel on this one because it does hit the neck of the other one. And then you get articulation at this one also. So a good way to have them displayed. Then at the feet, or the legs, I'm sorry, you do get articulation going up. Same thing over here. So King Ghidorah looks good. I like the way King Ghidorah looks. And of course, these are her accessories, but we'll take a look at that next. All right, so let's look at this guy right here. So this is the one I was really looking forward to because I could be wrong. Please tell me if I'm wrong as a kaiju fan. But if I remember doing my reading correctly in the past, this guy right here is like the first, I guess, race or species type of Godzilla. But it looks good. I like the paint they did on him, like the kind of blue hint going down his back right here. And it goes into the green. Head is super big. A little brownish color in here. All right, so let's go to get articulation. So his head is up. There we go. Ooh, that's tight there. His head does move sideways. Arms do move up. Move down. Legs can move up. Move down. There we go. Tail. At what portion right here to see? You gotta always try to find the seam line. So let's see if that one. I don't know if his tail moves. I don't think his tail moves because it's pretty stiff, stuck on there. So maybe the tail doesn't move on him. I'll mess around with some more. But yep, there he goes. It looks nice. All right, let's go ahead and look at my boy here. This is one of the original old school characters. Hold on 1 second. Ooh, that head. Some of the stuff is real tight. Oh, it actually comes off. You can actually pull it out. I hope I didn't break it. 1 second. Let me just look at this real quick. So we take a look at him. We can take a look at the colors in the shell. The shell is back. Baragon was always one of my favorite characters in the shows. You'll see the paint. It looks like a pine cone, kind of from the side. And the tail, so let me see. So his head does move, and it looks like I could pull it off. Yeah, you could pull it off right there. Oh, because he does have the swappable head. All right. And then the arms do move up. Move up on this one too. It's a little tight on this one. Just gotta be careful with some of these joints because they are a little tight. Legs, same thing as the other one. He has the swappable legs, so that's why these legs are coming out. And then the tail, same thing with this guy. I don't think his tail is moving because I have a lot of resistance there. Yep, looks like him. So these are actually pretty cool so far. Cheap versions of Godzilla figures, not bad. I mean, they are limited to articulation. All right, let's look at Manila. And this was like one of my favorite characters from the original. Didn't like the way he looked at first. He looked a little too rubbery when I used to watch as a kid. It looked a little too rubbery, the costume. So wasn't a huge fan of the way he looked, but he grew on me eventually, especially when he tries to do the atomic breath like Godzilla and the little tiny smoke comes out. But he looks good, looks accurate. Get the little dorsal fin spines right here in his back, growing in still. And his articulation, head moves. Arms go up. Legs move that way. There we go. Each one has the little hole underneath their feet, so that's for the peg for the base. All right, and then his tail doesn't move either. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the accessories. So let's go back to King Ghidorah. Comes with his tails. Obviously, you get 2 of those. Comes with his wings. Love that gold paint on there. As you can see, the wings there. Scales over here. Pretty good. Like a hollow plastic, but pretty durable. I don't think it'll break if it falls. Then, of course, he comes with his electric beams, lightning beams. So with these, since they're limited articulation, definitely my final poses for these, when I have them displayed, are going to be what the blast effects they come with. All right, so Baragon comes with a separate head. And the difference between this one, the ears are more back. Mouth's open more. Difference between the two. Then he does come with, because he's more of like the on the ground type character, so he does come with a swappable feet where he's more like on the ground than standing. Comes with 2 of those. And then Manila comes with an extra head, which is the head I'm definitely going to be using, because this is the head that you use the blast effect with. Here's the blast effect, which is not really a blast effect. It's more like a smoke. And that plugs in right here. And that's definitely my final pose I'm going to have for this guy, because This is my favorite scene where I remember more from him was when he's trying to mimic Godzilla, but he can't just not quite do it yet. And then of course you get the swallowable hands. These are the hands you would use when he's trying to blow that atomic breath out. So this is definitely cool. And then of course each one you get a stack of bases. Each one pegs into here, so you get 4 bases, for one for each kaiju. And that's it, really. I like the way they look so far. Like I said, it's good cheap variation, more something just to display, have out. And the fact that, you know, SH Monsters doesn't do half these creatures yet, or kaijus yet. It's good to have them represented in my collection. All right, let's get some size comparison done real quick. So now I have them all standing in default pose, no accessories on, because I wanted to make sure the accessories are more for the final poses. This is basically limited with accessories and posing, so I kind of want to keep that for that. But anyways, let's go ahead and bring in, let's see, I'm trying to bring in smaller figures to kind of get a good size comparison. No point bringing huge figures in here, 6 scale figures. But let's go ahead and bring in Takara Tomy, Transformers Masterpiece, Bumblebee. Almost made his costume thing come off. So there we have Bumblebee. Bring him a little bit more in. And I know I didn't say about 1/6 scale, but I am going to bring 1/6 scale figure here. And this is going to be the 1/6 scale Spider-Ham. So there's Spider-Ham. Now let's go ahead and bring in the Playmates original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles / Let's move these guys a little bit more so I can fit one more figure I want to put in here that I have not taken out my display in a long time. And this is going to be the MEZCO 112 Lockjaw. Let me slide this a little bit more over, get all these guys into frame. Let's go ahead right about there. There we go. So there's a good size comparisons with toys, figures from different lines, just to get a good size comparison if you have any of these and you want to pick up this set. All right, let's go ahead and get the final thoughts and final poses. Now I have them all set up. Now, the only one I actually put the accessories on was King Ghidorah. And I do want to say real quick, the tails, there's no way you can get the tails wrong because each of the 2 pegs has a certain insert that's made specifically for each tail. So basically, if you try to put the wrong tail on the wrong side, it won't fit. So simple to put on. The wings were simple to put on, but you got to be careful because to push, you have to actually push them in from the side. And one of those little, like the claws or needles from the wing kind of poked me. So you got to be careful with that. And the only issue I do have so far is if you look at King Ghidorah, you can see that the wings don't fully match the body. The wings are a little bit brighter of a gold, more of a shinier gold, and the body's more of like a duller matte type of gold. So that's the only issue I do see with the figure so far. I do kind of wish that the heads, you can see the heads, they twist side to side, the heads, but they look a little lopsided at some point. So I kind of wish that you could maybe just pivot the head up and down a little bit more. Maybe like have some kind of articulation at the neck joint, like at the actual, between the head matches the neck. Other than that, I mean, King Ghidorah is the only one I do see minor issues with, but all the other guys, they look cool. They're pretty sturdy. They're pretty durable. These type of things that if you do drop from a shelf, I rarely doubt or highly doubt they'll break. Maybe the King Ghidorah wings, I'm not sure. It depends if it falls on a hardwood floor. But they do all look pretty good together so far. I'm still 50-50 on this set and possibly getting the next ones. But maybe when I do swap out the accessories on the next final pose, I'll get an idea of how I'm going to like these figures. All right, let's go ahead to the next pose. I have the whole set in there with all the accessories on and the swappable parts for all the figures that actually have swappable accessory pieces. And come to realize that the Godzilla I had that I used in the previous video, whatever, that Godzilla right there, that was actually brought to me by my older brother. And he found them separate at a shop. I didn't know it was the MEZCO one. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm kind of mad about that because basically the shop that he bought it from, looks like they opened up the pack, the first pack that came with 4 figures too, and sold them individually. So I'm kind of mad about that because if I do pick up that that first pack, then I'm going to have doubles of that Godzilla. So maybe I'll give one to my son. But there's the Godzilla, the MEZCO from the round 1 pack. And here's all the other ones with the accessories on. And I want to kind of have them, you know, in their battle stance, or more likely the stance. I'm going to have them in my final display in my collection. And there you go. You got Godzilla doing a blast effect. And then you got Manila trying to, you know, copy him with a little smoke thing and everything. Unfortunately, this guy right here, Gorosaurus, doesn't come with an accessory, so he's basically be the same pose every video. And then in there we have King Ghidorah with the blast effects in his mouth. And like I said, that one head right there, see the one on my right, which would be your left, that far left one, that one is just like, you know, it is straight, but it's kind of just wonky a little bit. So I just kind of wish that you could have some articulation at the head point portion where the head matches the neck. And then, like I said before, the paint effects, whatever. But I kind of like these. Like, these are good for the price. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick up that first pack for $80. That's basically, I'm not sure. So I'm going to try to see maybe if I get that first pack, if it goes on the sale again, or I'll probably check out one of my other GameStops in my local area and see if they have any more of these. If they have the first pack or the new one, the Mothra pack. And there's also, I think, one with Hedorah, I think. I gotta double check. But anyways, I actually enjoyed this little set. They're not expensive. Cool representations of the kaijus from the older movies. And like I said, I don't have SH Martial Arts representation of half these creatures, or kaijus. I keep saying creatures. Kaijus. I don't have representation of these. So it's good to actually have them in my collection, because with SH Monster Arts, the only particular ones that they do have, or they've made before. And there's times when I'm looking at my collection, I'm like, damn, man, I kind of miss, or I forgot the name of this creature. I said it again, this kaiju. I forgot who that kaiju is, just because I don't have that person represented in my collection. And to finally have these, like I said, it's not a must-have for most collectors, or even for me, but it's something good to have. Like I said, if I come across them in a good sale, or if I just basically probably pick up the first pack, just to complete the set right here, and then have this set up, you know, like a little, like outside of display, and I don't have to worry about if it gets dusty or whatnot. I mean, of course, I'll dust them and everything, but like I said, it's a cool little representation, a cool little set to pick up. Not a must, but if you like Godzilla, and if you like the way these look, or if you don't mind having these, and then prefer the cheaper route instead of SH Monster Arts, then, you know, I would say knock yourself out and go ahead and pick these up. All right, collectors, I hope you guys enjoy your Godzilla day. I hope you enjoy this review. Something different I want to throw in there. You know I'm a Godzilla fan, so I got to throw some Godzilla reviews in there. So if you did enjoy this review and these figures, go ahead and pick them up wherever you can pick them up. And if you did enjoy the review, please click that bell notification, hit the like, subscribe button. And as always, collectors, keep collecting, stay safe, be good, dale.